There's a couple of like personality traits has to be really plays a major factor. Besides their academic performance, all the other things, really supposed to be their number one thing, their interest. Their interest in really seriously helping out the other people. So that's kind of like the customer driven that the one I just mentioned, like they have to be really serious about this one to say, I love working with the people. I want to figure out why is something not working, what are the best solutions, what are the things I can do for them. If they actually have something like nature in their part of the hearts like that, market is for them. So this is number one thing. Like they have to be really truly passionate helping out others, like have the mindset. The next thing really to do with the marketing to be really actually very good at this will be constantly being prepared for something like they're changing everywhere. So they have to also have the mindset to see, I need to do something new. I need to learn something new on the daily basis. So that's kind of like a fun part. I would think that's the fun, challenging part, right? I want to make sure my work will not be replaced by some other program like a future intelligence thing, right? So that's kind of really very important thing. Be passionate and be prepared for change. There are 4 different concentrations housed in my department. The major one, which is the marketing concentration, which is the primary one. We also have another really actually having a lot of students right now in this concentration called sports events and tourism marketing concentration. The third actually, by size of the enrollment, the third largest one in my department is called international business concentration. The last one, even though the number is small, but we do actually have continuous interest from the student, which is called retail, merchandising, and management. So we have those 4 different concentrations in my department. For students who really actually want to get into this kind of department, ultimately they're looking at the way we're actually setting up the 4 concentrations, really actually based on 2 of them, really actually very industry driven. You can clearly see like the retail and also the sports events and the marketing concentration, very, very much like industry focused. The other 2 are actually more like a general skill set, like business skill set, like marketing and also like IB. Like basically you have to have that international kind of perspective to really kind of indulge in the current business right now. So with these 2 major lines, it really makes it much easier for students to do the double concentration. And they can easily have one skill set and plus like another like industry driven. So I really want them to pick up some industry that they can be really passionate about this industry and continues getting growth in this area. Within each of the concentration, they do actually have some common themes actually, because we all blend in, like the common theme will be marketing. So all these concentrations will ultimately going to have a lot of access and they get exposed to many of different marketing electives. So overall, in that sense, like we actually, just in general, like those marketing like managers, those are really kind of the kind of position we're really going to shooting students for. So in general, we also have the digital things, digital marketing getting very popular. We also start having like electives in that lens. And so in general, like we have like a good marketing skill set in the analytics field as well. We have 2, besides marketing research, marketing strategy class, we're also going to have this analytics class, which is going to be offered again like in spring semester. We have very good enrollment in that class. So in general, they are going to have analytical skills, also with a lot of digital marketing, social media, and they will also have a good sense of especially for retail, like we expect students will be able to use the numbers, be able to tell like whether a store is healthy or not. I mean, financially, they will also be able to have really good eyes to picking up like the industry trends and things like that in that lens. Within the sports events and tourism concentration, we really expect them to have the hands-on experience, to really actually get like to fully actually take advantage of the required internships. So by then they're supposed to figure out, am I really good in the sports industry? Well, the events actually figures, could it be better for us? So one of the skills that we're particularly looking in this industry, like they have to be very, very creative. Very similar things to the marketing field, like they need to be actually on the top of the list, constantly actually be prepared for the changing market. That has to be a major theme in all the 4 different concentrations. It's just the marketplace has ever been like constantly changing. That's one of the biggest challenges we are facing. And that is also making this field so exciting because you're never going to do the same thing again. Every day you are facing like different customers. So that's another really big skill set they're going to actually be able to get from all the different 4 concentrations. They're going to be very, very customer oriented. They know how to talk with the customer, all the 4 different concentrations we have, they do actually require one actually class, which is a services marketing class, which is required for all the 4 concentrations. We highly actually put as a priority to see that we need to understand our customer, understand the marketplace. So that's another really big skills they're going to get, really to learn the other people better, the other side of the story better.